But if y'all want to know what that's called, Jenna, Jenna, that's called an override. So congratulations and welcome to your first paycheck being an override and not a personal sale. That's awesome. That means you are doing things. Good job. Hey, y'all can have that too. You just got to get licensed and do what we tell you to do. So that's awesome, Jenna. Great job. Hey, we're live. We're live on the tube of views. I'm excited. What's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning to all my friends here. All right, hey, so we went over the KT presentation, which is the same thing as a recruit presentation for those of you all that did not figure that out already. What? And oh yeah, so I'm gonna start making some reels, guys, and it's gonna be real funny, but real funny. Get it? But you guys need to you guys are gonna trust me. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be tinfoil hats, Angie. I'm gonna put tinfoil hat on. I'm gonna talk about whole life policies. It's gonna be great. But
oh, that's so awesome.
It's gonna be amazing.
Dude,
dying.
I can't.
I gotta mute Josh because I can't. We're all gonna be laughing for 30 minutes. All right, but guys, I wanted to give you guys time this morning. So we went over the A diagram. We went over how to close life insurance yesterday. I wanted to go. I just want to give you guys a little bit of time to just ask whatever questions that you may have about objections, closing life insurance, just anything along the particularly the kitchen table side. How can I help you? What questions do you have? Raise your hand and I will call on you and we'll unmute and we'll go from there, guys. So what questions do you all have about the life insurance process and such? Anyone at all?
When we
Who's that?
so yesterday, you know how we went through it with Angelique?
Yeah.
So if you go through all of that, but then they decide, well, I don't actually want that much in life insurance, I want to lower it, and they haven't pushed like sign that last DocuSign, can we easily go in and change it? Or
So yes, you can change the amount. Let me see. Actually, I'm going to see if I can show you all how you do that really quick. Let me see. Give me 2 seconds. Let me pull it up.
okay.
All your alarms are going off at the same time. So let's see. It's taking forever to load. Hang on. I'm sorry, guys. So yes, you can. It's not loading, and I don't think I should show you anyway, just because I'm not supposed to show you guys other people's life insurance stuff with their name on it. But yeah, so you can. So there's two ways. Number one, you can just edit it in the actual application. And let's say you've submitted the application before we pay out, before Primerica pays out the policy, they have to accept, like I or Amy has to accept the policy being written. So like Caprice, like yesterday, for instance, like let's say Angelique doesn't want that much, she wants half as much, and it's already accepted, right? That's great. We can hit as a button that says modify and resubmit. We can modify it, right? And then it pushes it back to the agent, and then the agent can make an adjustment to it and then resubmit the policy. So you can decrease the amount of coverage and stuff like that. No payment comes out for the client until Amy accepts the policy, and Amy's not going to accept the policy until she connects with the client. So if you write a policy and you submit it, like last night, I submitted a policy at like 6 o'clock. I wouldn't have gotten paid on that anyway, because it's after the cutoff time, which is like 5:12 or something like that. But even then, like after I submit it, it's taking a lot of self-control for me, even guys, to not just go and push the freaking button, because I can go push the button and get paid. But I did that a year ago, and we just I didn't have self-control, I guess, that I needed to. We do now. We have that system in place, so that way none of you guys get into like a bad situation, right? We don't want you to have a bunch of bad business and then be chasing your tail to get out of the bad business that you've written. It's not fun, trust me.
And then it's not what you wanted. Like, what happened in your situation? Did the client just come back and say like, hey, that's not what I'm looking for exactly? Like, how did you go about that?
Yeah, I mean, so there's that. There's also the fact that I was like writing policies on people that didn't have bank accounts. They just have like Cash App bank accounts, like routing an account number through Cash App. Like, and this, I'm sorry if this like offends somebody because you don't have a bank and you just use Cash App, but the reality is if they don't have a bank that you can physically walk into, we are not using that for the application. Like if they're writing a life insurance policy on a Cash App card, generally there's a reason that they don't have a bank account. And usually it's because they won't be able to open a bank account because they defaulted on other bank accounts, which means their accounts are negative and the bank shuts the account down because they don't have enough money in the account. So not always, a lot of times. So like, just so you know, like if you can't walk into the bank, don't use it. If they're like, oh, I just have Cash App or I just have Chime or whatever, like that's great, but we're not using that right now. Like that's Primerica, like home office doesn't want us to use that because there's over a 90% chance that if they have a Cash App or a Chime or Sutton Bank or something like that, where they can't physically walk into the bank, that policy is going to get declined or going to get canceled or lapse within the first 17 months, which means it's going to hit your QBI negatively. So home office doesn't want us to write policies that are without actual banks. But so Caprice, back to what you were saying though, really quick. Yeah, you can adjust it and the payment will not come out until Amy approves it. And then it comes out like 2 days later and then it goes into underwriting. And then from there though, you can still adjust the coverage and stuff like that. It's just a conversation needs to happen between the agent and the client. And so like with yesterday's appointment, Caprice, I reached out to Angelique and have not heard back yet. So I just need to talk to her and figure out what she wants. And then we can submit it, get it to come out whenever she wants it to come out. No big deal. And we'll go from there. So, and I'll call you after this, call is over. On my way to the gym and I'll talk to you about that specific appointment yesterday. Okay.
Okay.
Bree, what's up?
Okay, this kind of goes with what she was saying. So I wrote policies before, like started to write them, and then we needed to change it once, like we're in the signing part, and they're like, you know what? Can we like change the amount, or hey, can we change this to a precision instead of a power term or whatever? But then my app goes into lock mode and I can't get it out of lock mode. So then I have to rewrite the entire policy. How do I get it out of lock mode?
So you would need to submit it and get it modified to resubmit most likely. So if you're doing a power term and you get instant approval, you can change the amount of coverage right away. If you're doing power term and you do not get instant approval, you need to just you don't need to, but what I would suggest is you just submit it with that amount of coverage during underwriting. And then after the policy comes back, then we can make adjustments to the amount of coverage and the monthly payment, stuff like that. That would be my suggestion. They are working on allowing you to unlock your application after you send the DocuSign. That's like the biggest complaint from the field is that you can't. And so they're working on fixing that right now, but it's not something that you can do right now. So if you write a policy and you spell the address wrong or you get the email wrong and you send the DocuSign, you do have to rewrite the entire application.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem. They will be fixing that. It's not fixed yet. So guys, a lot of you don't know this, but our next gen product, the product that you're writing with and that we write life insurance with, is only 5 months old. It's about 30% cheaper than our older product, which is older than 5 months, obviously. So it's been 20 years since they released the new product. Sorry, my dog unplugged my light. But it's been 20 years since they've released a new product. So with this new product, there's learning curves they're using DocuSign, all types of stuff like that. So they said they hope to have everything ironed out within 18 months of like having it be super smooth and having all the glitches fixed and the things that we want fixed done. So they're actively working on that. They're doing everything they can to make it better. So Josh, what's up, man?
So I was trying to update my website and put on there. I mean, I don't know how to do this, but my website says that I can only offer the auto and home in the Primerica business opportunity. So I was just wondering, do you know how to put the fact that we can do PLPP on there, Vivint Home Solutions? I just finished my certification for my senior health and did my attestations for that. I'm just trying to make sure that while I'm waiting for the state to approve my stuff, my website looks bare naked. And then it says about me on the website and it says join Primerica 2013. And I was just like, I could put a nice neat blurb about my family and my right. But they don't let you do that.
I don't know how to do that. I don't have Primerica website myself. Just to be completely transparent with you, like I don't use that because I want to control the conversation with clients and with people that are looking at what we do. And so I don't want them, let's be real, right? Like y'all have gone to, anybody gone to Google and searched like reviews of Primerica? Carlos kind of talked about this last night. Google is way better now than it was even 2 years ago. And 2 years ago, it was way better than it was a long time ago. But guys, the reality is you can't control like people's thought processes, or you can control people's thought process when you're talking to them about your business and your team, and that Primerica is the thing that you use versus your whole website and everything is about Primerica, right? And that's where like I would not tell you not, I'm not telling you not to use the website. I think it's an awesome tool, don't get me wrong, but I personally wouldn't put that like on my social media and stuff like that, because they're going to see it. Then they're going to go say, oh, what's Primerica? And then they're going to go to freaking Reddit from someone's drunk uncle that never finished licensing and didn't get their money back because they never sent in a freaking email and asked for a refund, right? Like, and it's like, oh, well, people don't get paid on Reddit. Guys, if you don't get licensed, you're not going to get paid. If you look at the negative reviews of Primerica, it's generally people that are either A, they don't follow the system, or B, they don't get licensed. It's one of those two things. You don't find negative customer reviews of, oh, the people didn't pay out. They didn't, my spouse passed and they didn't pay out. No, it's like Primerica's amazing. They paid out so fast. Like they sent me a check when they shouldn't have, like things like that, guys. And it's just like, that's what I want people to hear, but they're not going to hear that from Reddit because how often do you guys go to Google and leave a good review? Anyone? No, but when someone pisses you off at the restaurant, you're like, you're getting your phone, you're using your friend's phone, your wife's phone, you're signing your cat up for a Gmail account, and you're leaving a negative. Why? Because we want to make sure that like the negatives outweigh the positives, and it's just our society. It's the way it's structured. So yeah, and I'm not trying to deter you from using it. I'm just saying I wouldn't lead with that because I want to control the perception. I want them to see my belief in them. I want them to see my willingness to help them solve their problems and get them to where they're trying to go. And for me, if I'm sending you a website and you just Google, oh, is Primerica a scam? Like freaking Google is a dishwasher. Yeah. I'm sure you're going to find yeses. Like, what are you like? It's so stupid. So it's just be cautious of. I want to eliminate as many barriers as I can. And so if I get to meet them first, a lot of times, like I'll meet people, I'll talk to them for 10 minutes. They're like, oh, I didn't know you were with Primerica. Like I tried that a long time ago. I'm like, okay, well, like what happened? And then they'll tell me a negative experience. And then I can kind of talk them through that. Right. And say, well, yeah, I was just kind of the guy. I mean, Josh, you kind of experienced that before yourself. So it's the same kind of thing. I want to be able to disarm the situation. And if I can't get in front of them to talk to them, I can't disarm any situation. They're just doing what they're doing. And that's fine. But at the end of the day, I want to minimize the amount of barriers I have to run through to help somebody. So Tammy, what's up?
Okay, good morning. So piggybacking off of the being able to change the policy in lock mode. So that actually happened to me, but they hadn't signed the DocuSign to pay yet. So what I ended up doing was just redoing a whole nother policy and then canceling out the one that because it had a wrong name. The name was spelled wrong.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Tammy, that's what they're working on fixing. So you wouldn't have to redo the entire policy. So they're fixing it, but you got to think that they're fixing it at scale for 150,000 agents, and there needs to be something that works every time. And so unfortunately, it's not just as easy as like, let's just click this button, right? And it's like testing. So anytime they make any adjustments to our process, guys, what they do is they give it to a few base shops and let them test it out. For example, when we started doing the DocuSign stuff in Andy's base shop back in this time last year, I don't know, Mom, if you remember this, but like we were able to do we started doing the DocuSign and the Plaid stuff with our older products just to beta test it, like Andy's whole team did. And then when we went RVP, that feature was taken away from me. I was like, no, that's stupid. Give it back. It's awesome. It's way better. And so what they do is they roll out tests in batches to RVPs, and then then they release it once it works. So again, I'm pretty sure they're pretty close to fixing that. But yeah, so unfortunately, guys, you can be, I don't think if anybody's upset about it. Tammy, I definitely don't think you're upset about it. But in that first section, if you spell something wrong, if you put the wrong information in and you send the first DocuSign, you have to redo the whole application. That's why when you're going through that first part, you just need to take your time, answer the questions, have them make sure they can see your screen. Hey, proofread this. Did I spell this right? Did I do that right? Like, just go through it with them. So that way you don't have to resend the DocuSign 48 times and go back and redo an application, because it's just it's an annoying step that unfortunately sometimes you have to take. But yeah, just try to go a little slower when you're going through that. Again, Tammy, I'm not saying you did anything wrong, but just, for everyone's sake, just pump the brakes a little bit when you're going through that. Make sure you're spelling everything right. Anybody else got anything, guys? No, sweet. Hey, yesterday we did a kitchen table appointment setting contest. I'm 99% sure Amber Duncan won that appointment setting contest. But I need you guys to go into the Telegram, please, and post how many KTs, how many kitchen table appointments did you set yesterday? How many kitchen table appointments in the Telegram did you set yesterday? And then I want you to put how many kitchen table appointments you're going to set today. Guys, look, we have our leadership school coming up next weekend. I want you all making money rolling into that thing. I want to see everybody making 2-3 grand in the next 7 days. You just got to, if you're licensed, you need to set it up, guys. And if you're not licensed, you need to teach your team how to set appointments, and you need to get in there with them, teach them how to set those kitchen tables, build the list, guys, and get this thing off the ground. We have the momentum right now. I'm serious, guys. We got the momentum right now. Like, I took a week and a half off, not really off, but I took a week and a half of doing less than I normally do. And the momentum dipped a little bit from the team, and it's the speed of the leader is the speed of the team. And that's just the reality. And so I'm back, I'm focused. We're going. Like, I closed a few things yesterday. Got a few new recruits coming down the pipe that are going to be killers. I'm super excited for. But guys, I want to challenge everyone on this call, everyone that can hear my voice, go be the biggest individual personal producer in our base shop. Because that was my number one goal. Ask Taylor. Like, that was my number one goal, was I want to be the reason that Andy hits ownership. Like, I want Andy to be able to, like, when he's thinking about, man, like, we finally got ownership, being like, well, it's because of Dan and Taylor. Like, it's because of that team. Like, it should be your mission, guys, to be the number one producer in here. Because if you're the number one producer, you're going to push us to, you're going to push us to the second diamond and ownership. But guess what's going to also happen? You're going to get money. You're going to get paid. You're going to build a team. You're going to recruit good people. You're doing the things that you need to do. It's a pushing people up business, guys. And it's, at the end of the day, like, you're building this for you and your family. And I'm not trying to push you so we necessarily make more money, guys, because the reality is I will go find more people that want to win. I'm not saying you don't want to win. I'm just saying, like, you can listen to what I'm saying and be like, oh, you're just saying that so you make more money. And if that's your mindset, that's a terrible mindset to have, because I want you guys to win. I want you to be making money. And I want to challenge you guys to, like, stop settling for where you are and realize, like, I just have to get better to get to where I want to go. Right. That's how it is. I mean, I woke up on Monday morning. I was like, I got to freaking eat good and get back in shape. Like, I feel like a marshmallow right now. So it's just like, I've been eating great the last 2 days and working out. I'm sore. I feel great though, because I've just taken that intentional time to get better. And it's the same thing in the business. You can properly set kitchen table appointments today and properly set recruit appointments today, and you'll start getting paid over the weekend. It can happen that quick for you, but it's a decision that we have to make mentally. A personal decision we have to make to go and get after it and to go and do the right stuff. And so I just want to challenge you guys. Go be that top producer over month end. Month end is Monday. As of right now, it's Monday, I believe, at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So I want to challenge you. Go be the top producer for month end. Like, just go close out a couple of things, get yourself promoted, get people on your team promoted, guys, and watch what happens to your income. Watch what happens to your mindset around the business, guys. So